Hi guys, this episode is brought to you by Factor. Summer is here, which means there's more sun, there's more light, more time to be outside doing fun things. And the number one thing you do not want to be doing all summer is spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well.
Get started at factormeals.com/pretendprob50off and use code pretendprob50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code pretendprob50off at factormeals.com/pretendprob50off for 50% off plus free shipping. factormeals.com/pretendprob50off.
Now here's the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh, the golfer.
Yeah, that's exactly how I golf. It's really, guys, I'm Chad Daniels. But Tommy Fleetwood was in this golf match, has never won on the PGA, and had it in the palm of his hand.
Yep.
And couldn't keep his foot on the throat of his competitors. Yep. And that's how I golf.
Oh my gosh, that's how I do foosball.
That's how I do a lot of things.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever taken a close look at the trophies around our home. 99% of them are second place. It's actually kind of crazy how many second place trophies.
Yeah, I have seen them, and I've said nothing.
Did it make your heart sink when you realized you weren't with a winner?
No, second place is it's not winning, but no, I didn't ever think that because I know how many people start.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I know. And frankly, the amount of times that you hold the trivia belt, it kind of makes sense that I'm.
If you watched last week, the first week on your YouTube, the trivia belt was over there because you had one. Mm-hmm. And then we did our 3 weeks, and I got it back.
Yep. God damn it.
I got it back.
Felt so good over on my side.
Yeah.
So now we're playing tightrope with each other. It's
under the Quirtle umbrella.
Under the Quirtle umbrella. I think it's the Merriam-Webster website.
I think that's right.
Of games. And if you feel like waking up and just having your shit rocked, go play tightrope. It's a timed 10 question trivia thing.
Yeah.
And it's just a quick cortisol burst. It's just a big rush of anxiety. Yeah. You feel stupid a lot of the time. It's a good way to start the day.
Yep. Do it on a Sunday. Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you, laddie.
Best of luck to you. Looks like I am Tommy Fleetwood.
Is he Irish?
He's something over there.
Oh, okay. Irish, Scottish, something.
Something.
But yeah.
He's British.
Chad sent me something on Instagram last night that made me laugh out loud, and I felt like it was worth sharing with the podcast because Chad is Gen X, as some of you know. Mm-hmm. I'm a millennial. Mm-hmm. And you're, I think, like the only Gen Xer in my life, really.
Well, I think there's a Gillennial, something like that.
Oh yeah, we were talking about this.
That's more like what I am, because I'm on the ass end of Gen X. But I will say there was a group of human beings that rode their bikes everywhere, and the only way to know where your friends were was a pile of bikes in somebody's front yard. And you left in the morning in the summer, and your parents said, okay, be home by dark. I mean, by dark, which is all of the day. It's like you could be home in an hour or you could be home whatever.
Yeah.
And this is back when kids got taken. Yeah. It was shocking to the nation.
Wow, right? Because this was like an unheard of thing.
Yeah, and I cannot imagine an easier time. This Dateline where the fucking perv knocks on the door and all of a sudden it's a dude like, hi, I'm the one that said I was a 13-year-old girl. It's crazy that shit is going on right now. How are you not just driving around and plucking kids off the street, you fucking creeps?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I was young, that was still a thing with me too, where it's like you would just play with your friends in the neighborhood, you'd ride your bikes around, and you would just like be home by dinner. You know, I was like 7, 8.
You had to be home by dinner? Lucky.
I'm like 7, 8. I don't have a cell phone. Your parents just like assume you are with your friend or whatever. But I just posted a clip online. I was in San Antonio and I was doing a joke about that I'm not going to have kids. And a woman shouted, "Don't do it." And I was like, okay. I was like, how many kids do you have? And she's like, oh, just one. I couldn't do two. And I said, how old are they? And like, what are they? She's like, he's 13. He's with his friends or something. And I was like, oh, I feel like we should kind of know or something, because 13 seems a little young to not know. And especially on Facebook, it was so many comments of people like, I never had to tell my parents where I was. They never knew where, you know. But it is, I think, now to hear somebody who's 13 and their parents like, oh, he's probably with his friends or something. You are kind of like, oh, I just feel like that's less common now. Like most of the time people know where their kid is.
Yeah, I also, because of all the technology, if your VCR remote was connected by a wire, shut the fuck up. No one knew where you were. Right. There was no way to find you.
Right.
You just had to. I mean, there were times where my parents someone would huff through the hallway, and like they were fighting, and their shoulder would knock the phone off the thing, and they'd be like, fuck it. And they'd go downstairs. So then I'd call for a ride from the movie theater and be like, beep, 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 beep. It'd be busy. And there was just no other way. So then you're like, I guess I'm walking home in the dark. Which now I think you can get put in jail if you make your kid walk home in the dark.
It's so different
and
now.
Back then it was just normal. Absolutely normal. And then somebody'd drive by and be like, hey, you need a ride? And you're like, kind of. You know, like they always tipped it though. They'd be like, I know your parents. You'd be like, okay, I'm not getting in that car, you fucking creep. I'd rather go with a perfect stranger than someone who pretends to know my family.
Is this a van where we keep our pants on or take them off? Tell me before I get in. Yeah, my mom dropped me off for volleyball practice one day, and we had gotten the day wrong or something, like missed an email or something. And she dropped me off and the gym was locked and it was dark, and she had already driven away. I didn't have a cell phone. And so I had to just walk to a nearby house and knock on the door and ask if I could use the phone to call my mom. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, ooh, this is like a bodies in the basement vibe. They had a lot of birds. A lot of birds. A lot of like parrots.
Flying animals? Okay.
Parrots and parakeets. A lot of birds in cages. And you could just tell that they hadn't talked to people in a long time. And oh God, that's how people die. That's like how people get kidnapped. That's how people get murdered. And that's just what you did if you didn't have a cell phone. So what was I going to do? I couldn't walk. I was too far from
Cut to the police. Well, it's landlocked, so you could walk. But I understand what you're saying. Cut to the police 5 years later, busting the door down, and you're just in a cage. Volleyball sucks. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. I did the same thing. I was walking to my friend Billy McFarland's. Billy Mack was a detective down in Texas. Now that's not even Gen X. I think that's Boomer. That's Steve Miller. Sure. So Billy McFarland, I was walking to his house because I thought I'd be able to figure it out. Because I'm like, okay, I know it's kind of in this area. Once I get close, I'll be able to do it. Well, for fuck's sake, not even close. So it's getting dark, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just knocked on a door like you, but I was, this is 1st or 2nd grade.
Oh my God.
Knock on a door, and these old people were like, come on in, you can use our phone. Do you know your number? And I'm like, yeah, my parents think I'm an idiot, so they made me learn it. And then I called, and it turned out that they were the grandparents of a girl in my grade. And so then my dad accused me of looking up the name in the phone book, going to that house thinking it was the girl's house. And I didn't live that shit down for 3 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Her name was Patience. And they were like, oh, hey Chad, where are you going? You going to Patience's grandparents' house, see if she's there? Like fucking 4 years later, this is happening.
Jesus.
I know.
Kind of wish you'd hung out with Patience a little longer. Maybe should have rubbed off on you a little bit.
What does that mean? Oh, like actual Patience?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a name, not a way of life. Yeah, but we used to do that all the time. I mean, I remember a time my mom would say, if you come here and you're going to go back out, leave a note if I'm not here.
Yeah.
And so then my friends and I would just wait like a block away till we'd see my mom's car leave. We'd bike to my house. I'd leave a note, staying over at Mark's.
Oh my
and then
God.
Gone again. And Mark's house was awesome. Maybe I've talked about it on here, but his mom was an overnight nurse, single mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. We did it all. Oh, shit. We used to go to senior parties because his brother was in high school, and this is probably when we were in 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
And we'd go around when we knew that they were camping in somebody's yard. We'd ride our bikes out there, and we would just pull all the stakes up. Or if there was a hose from the house to put the fire out, we'd put it in somebody's tent after it was cranked, pull the stakes, and then get on our bike and just tear ass out of there. Yeah. There was a wooden railroad bridge in our town where a lot of people wouldn't jump off.
Okay.
But me and my friends would. And so we would ride our bikes when we were getting chased on bikes, we would ride them to the railroad bridge, throw our bike in the river, and then just jump in after, and then it would float for a little bit. It wouldn't go right to the bottom. And so you'd have to get to shore because it was impossible
Jason
to
Bourne
get.
fuck
No,
are
not
you
Jason
talking
Bourne,
about?
But I'm saying like it was so fun. Because we went down, we swam around underneath the bridge to make sure there was nothing that like spikes or anything. And then we knew that we could do it. And then the older kids would be like, "You're fucking dead," just screaming from the bridge. Yeah.
Oh my God. This just all fits so perfectly with what
Gen X. Okay.
what you sent me.
Yeah.
So Chad sends me this thing that says it's under the Gen X history and pop culture, maybe a subreddit or something. And it says, "I learned why we are always ignored." Speaking on behalf of Gen X people. "I was at a leadership conference and one of the speakers was talking about generational strife. And she talked about the boomers and then the millennials and then the Gen Zers. They said Zoomers. I've never heard of them called Zoomers. And then she said, Gen X, I didn't forget you, even if the rest of the world has. But I have no advice for you for a few reasons. First, you don't need it. You are the most independent and self-sufficient generation in the history of mankind, and there's literally nothing I can teach you. Second..."
Cut to me jumping off a bridge. Fuck you. Sploosh.
God. "Second, even if I did have something to tell you, you wouldn't care.
That is also true.
Third, the reason we ignore you is because the rest of us are all terrified of you. If the zombie apocalypse ever happens, we are all hiding behind you. Somehow you'll know what to do." And I just started cracking up reading this because I was like, oh my God, this is you to a T. And I didn't realize this was your whole generation.
Yeah.
Because we talk about this a fair amount where I'm like, God, like we're just so different and you're these very specific ways. And I guess I just haven't known, is this like a you thing or your generation? And that's fascinating.
Because I'm the only old you hang out with.
Yeah.
So
I've met more olds through you. Like now we are friends. Like I'm friends with your friends, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good time to grow up. It was before all the bullshit. If there was bullying, it wasn't on a phone. It didn't spread like wildfire. You know, it was like if you wanted to bully someone, you had to say it to their face, and there were consequences. Sometimes, I mean, it just depends.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, it was the greatest time to grow up.
Yeah.
Because it was after parents could punch you in the face legally, and before all the fucking phone stuff.
Right.
I mean, I've often said, I know a lot of people say this, but if there were cameras when I was in high school, on a phone, I might just be getting out of prison. And nothing crazy. I wasn't harming other people, but the amount of I guess vandalism, but under the guise of, if somebody let the air out of your tires in your car, I mean, you made goddamn sure that you egged their entire house, then toilet papered it so it would stick to the egg, and forked their yard. So they had to go and take every fork out individually. And if it broke, it was so hard to get it out. That's just what we did.
I know. And that's what's funny is like, I hear these stories and I'm just like, holy shit, we're again, so different that I've never egged a house. I've never I've never done anything like that.
Tonight.
No, this is not like the movies I haven't seen list. We're not checking things like vandalism off, for Christ's sakes. But I hear you that it's like that, like a lot of your generation were doing stuff like that. And it's interesting because as different as you and I are, we did both grow up in a time with, pre-cell phones. I mean, I started to see cell phones more when I was like maybe middle school going into high school for me.
Same.
But 1912. And I'm kidding. It's just fun for you to get it on both of your podcasts.
No, it's great. Wow, sorry I was born in a specific year.
Anyway, we both were of the mindset where it's like you're out with your friends. You're out of the house generally. And that's why I think it's been so surprising to both of us that like your daughter's generation, they love hanging out with their parents. Mm-hmm. They want to be home all the time, and because they had almost the exact opposite situation around those formative years where like they were in high school during COVID.
Yeah.
So the years where you would be out of the house, there's a global pandemic forcing them inside, forcing them to do online learning. They are with their parents every day and you're their protector now. I mean, you always have been, but like even more so during this terrifying time. And so it's, that's been like mind blowing to me to be around somebody from Gen Z and see how different they are in like the summers and stuff like that.
Right. And it's not all of them, but if my parents were as awesome as I am, I probably would have stayed home more. I wouldn't have snuck in to write a note.
It's true. So this is a subject change, but we wanted to mention it. We've talked a little bit about, I forgot to look it up. Is it the Swedish style of sleeping?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm only going by what you told me before.
Okay.
You said Swedish style.
Okay. One of the countries in Europe does this where it's two people in a bed, but you have your own bedding. You like make the bed almost as if it's two twin beds together. So there's no tug of war of blankets. And I've noticed lately that sometimes like I'll have the sheet up around my neck and Chad will roll and yank and I'll be like, like immediately my life flashes before my eyes and I'm like,
well, she wraps it around her neck like a turtleneck, which is insane to me. But all I have to do is like turn a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like stuff to catch on a sheet. And so if a little bit catches, it pulls everything. And then all of a sudden you're spinning like the inside of a lawnmower. Like I just yanked the rope.
I know. And I was like just right on the cusp of that sweet, sweet sleep the other night, had just drifted into it. And then I was like, God! And I was like, oh my God, it fucking jerked me so awake, heart rate through the roof. And so I was like, you know what? I'm grabbing another sheet from the cupboard and we're going to try 2 sheets, one comforter over the top and one comforter over the top. Oh my God, we're sleeping so well.
Here's the thing about sleeping so well. You speak for yourself. You know where I slept the best?
Where?
When we were on the road in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
you hated that bed because it was
slab
concrete.
Of rock bed.
I think, okay. I want to ask the listeners if you would write in if you have any knowledge about sleep number beds.
Okay.
Because I think you can also adjust the temperature on both sides.
Well, you can do that with the 8 sleep one too. You can get a full mattress like that. Oh, but I don't know if it's a softness. Continue.
Right. And I'm saying you can also adjust the hardness of it.
Okay, yeah.
And so maybe we need to look into that if people would let us know what they think about it.
Yeah.
Because I slept so hard. I snoozed my alarm. We were late to go down to the car. Mm-hmm. We took a nap and I'm like, hey, we'll just sleep till 5. And then all of a sudden my alarm went off. It took me a while to wake up. And you were like, can you set it for later?
That is what I sound like.
Exactly what it sounded like. And you were turned away from me, so I had to yank the sheet to have you roll over and look at me and go, "Can you set it for later?" No, eyes not open. Just like like you actually did get taken by that bird couple, and they had just found you chained to a radiator all those years later. My mom dropped me off at volleyball.
The guy in Breaking Bad who gets trapped in the trailer with
Your
the
story.
chemicals.
You got to finish it.
Early on, Breaking Bad, the guy gets trapped in the trailer with the chemical, so it fucks up his voice, and then he's chained to the thing. He's like, just a sandwich, and he's, you know, I mean, that's what that sounds like to me.
But so I slept so well because then it was set for 5 p.m. for our nap, and then I set it for 5:40. And what I normally do when I set an alarm is I set it for a time, 5 o'clock example. Then I'll set another one for 5:04 so I don't snooze for a full 9 minutes and then I get up.
Yeah.
But this time I set it for 5:40 and I thought I had done that when I went to bed.
Wow, yeah.
And it went off again. I'm like, oh, it must have been 4 minutes later, 40 minutes later. So that's how hard I slept on that bed.
You know what's funny? All of we've got a bed in the guest room. There's a bed at the cabin. All of those mattresses are soft as shit.
Not the one up in our bedroom in the cabin.
Really?
A little harder. I sleep very hard there.
Okay.
But it also could be that we woke up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But yeah, so
you slept well in Pittsburgh,
right? But Fritz,
yeah,
my friend, and his wife Megan, they share blankets. Or excuse me, the only thing they don't share: blankets and bank accounts.
Yep, double B, baby.
Yeah, and so and he said nothing's made them happier. Like those are the two things that's what everyone fights about.
Yeah.
He also has a guy. He's got a great joke about that too. I told you, but I don't ever want to ruin anybody's joke. But man, he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I mentioned this on my other podcast, but he has a special on YouTube, and it's called Gone Fishing. Is it Fritz Gone Fishing? Gone Fishing, but it's Fritz Nothnagel. And it's his last set ever. He retired from stand-up. He might pop in, if there's like a dream gig or whatever. But man, it's fantastic. So please
go watch. Also, one more shout out. Chad had already shouted out the book Running the Light by Sam Tallent on a recent episode.
Yeah.
I just finished it. Oh my God. You guys, if you're looking for a book right now, I couldn't put it down. It grabs you from the first page and you're just like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like this character, you're just like, how? It basically is the story of a week in this particular fictional comedian's life, and he is a comic who struggles a lot with addiction, and it's just wild. It's such incredible writing. Like the second it was done, I wanted to read it again. So
Sam Tallent is a great comedian. And
yeah.
So that's that. You go. People go, hey, Sam Tallent? You go, oh yeah, God, that guy's funny.
Yeah.
And then you read his book and you go, Jesus Christ. I didn't know people that funny could be that amazing at writing. I mean, yeah. I'm talking like, if he didn't use a thesaurus, I'll never talk to him face to face because I don't want him to use a word and me just go deer in the headlights. It really is incredible. He's so good and it's so nuanced and it's, God, I would love to have a conversation with everybody that reads it because there are parts that I kind of saw. Remember I mentioned something to you and you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of great. You read the book and you go, this book is amazing. And then if you know all the little things, it's like, it blows your mind.
Yeah, this is a bold statement, but I really feel like it is one of the best books I've ever read because it's just so unique. And that story, I just think it will stay with me forever. It's really, really amazing. So anyway, highly recommend if you want a book that you just like cannot put down. If you're looking to get lost in something, it's just so good. Should we do trivia?
Let's do trivia.
Let's do trivia.
Now, my eyes have been not great lately.
We're doing trivia from the deck Gen X and Millennial from the game Mind the Gap. If you ever want to buy it and play it, it's not sponsored, but it's just fun generational trivia. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I already did that one.
Name 3 of the 4 houses of Hogwarts.
Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff.
Yeah. I mean, just for shits and gigs.
Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff. Ooh, Kelsey, you're a better Harry Potter fan than that.
Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't know.
Ravenclaw.
Oh, Ravenclaw. Thank you. That's a good clue. That's a very sneaky clue. Okay. What TV series from 1978 to 1982 starred Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno as 2 sides to the same man?
That is The Incredible Hulk.
That is correct. Nice job.
Thank you. Name the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay. Michelangelo, Leonardo, farts, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, and not Da Vinci. I don't know shit. Raphael, Leonardo. I don't know.
Ravenclaw. Donatello.
Da Vinci. I mean, it's like, yeah. Okay. What dance did Morris the cat do? I don't know.
Morris the cat did meow, meow, meow. Meow mix.
Cha-cha-cha.
Oh, who fucking cares? That's stupid. What grunge song from DMB starts with the lyrics, "You've got your ball, you've got your chain"?
Crash.
That is correct.
Thanks. What group proclaimed everybody wants to rule the world?
Time out. Are we saying Dave Matthews Band is grunge?
Yeah, all of that was surprising to me that they said DMB instead of Dave Matthews Band and called them grunge. They're not grunge.
Everybody can suck it on that shit.
Yeah, that's not grunge.
You and your fucking flautist in your grunge band?
A lot of sax for grunge.
We are not a grunge band. That's crazy. Everybody wants to rule the world. That's Tears for Fears.
Yes, good job.
What was the nickname of the 1996 women's gymnastics team that won the US's first ever gold medal in the team event?
Magnificent Seven.
That is correct.
I had their poster. In 1986, which space shuttle tragedy occurred?
Just another example of how different we are. You had the Magnificent Seven poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in gymnastics.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I looked up to them so much.
That makes sense.
I wanted to be them. In 1986, well, first of all, what poster did you have?
Well, Kathy Ireland.
Who's that?
She was a
babe?
She was a Sports Illustrated model.
Oh, okay,
a
sure.
swimsuit issue model.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then she did posters. Mm-hmm. And like when you got to that poster in the store, you had to go buy it as quickly as possible in case your mom was there.
In case you had a boner.
Made you felt crazy. And then you'd go, "Yeah, Mom, hey, what do you think of this poster?" And she'd be like, "I love it. Go ahead and get it." But they were rolled up, so there was no way to check. And you're like, "All right, you think I'm getting fucking Marvin the Martian, and I'm about to learn how to masturbate in your home."
It's just giant boobs above your bed.
No, none of that last part was true. But okay, did you ask me something?
Yes, in 1986, which space shuttle tragedy occurred?
I have a joke about it.
Mm-hmm.
It is called the Space Shuttle Challenger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Wow. No soup for you was said by this Seinfeld character.
Soup Nazi.
That is correct.
What did Hans and Franz want to do for you?
I believe they wanted to pump you up.
Das is correct.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'm Hans and I'm Franz and we are here to pump you up.
Good trivia.
Maybe they clapped after pump. I can't remember.
Good freaking trivia.
Just
a couple of
adults,
champs.
couple of mature adults. You ever heard someone say mature?
If I have, it's only one time because then I wouldn't be around them ever again.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of go get thine notebook or some shit.
Ugh.
Hey, summer is here, and I don't know where you live, but I do know this: cooking sucks, and it is hard, and it takes a long time, and then you get a whole package of spinach when you only need a cup. And then all of a sudden you have brown spinach and it makes everything stink in your fridge and it's horrible. So what I suggest are Factor meals. You order them. They are cooked. They are healthy. They take 2 minutes to make and they are made by like world-renowned chefs. They are so fantastic. They arrive fresh, ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss.
Yes. You know that we love Factor so much. We've talked about them before. Their meals are so good. They're ready so fast. And they're healthy. It's like healthy, good tasting food. That's the best combination. It sucks when something is healthy but doesn't taste good. You're like, okay, well, this is fine. I'll just get through this. Or there are things, listen, I love In-N-Out. I don't feel awesome after I have In-N-Out. So when you can have both healthy and good together, it's amazing. One of their meals I love so much. There's a barbecue chicken. There's riced cauliflower and zucchini, but there's like kind of a buttery cheesy sauce. It's so good and I feel so satiated afterward.
Get started at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off and use code pretendprob50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code pretendprob50 off at factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. factormeals.com/pretendprob50 off.
Now back to the show. Okay. You guys keep writing such awesome emails. Thank you for sending so many in. Again,
Yes, thank you.
We're getting through them. This week, if you're part of Patreon, you've got 2 episodes coming your way, 2 bonus episodes. We're about to record the 30-minute mini bonus after this one, and then a full-length questions episode where we're tackling all questions. So it's patreon.com/pretendproblems. If you're not already over there, if you're already over there, awesome. You'll be getting some bonus ups soon. But go join if you want some bonus content.
Do it.
And if you haven't written into the show, it is pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. So this one is titled, The Time I Called the Cops at Costco.
Wow.
We have opened such a whole can of worms with our new involvement with Costco.
I'm going to guess before this starts.
Yeah.
Okay. They were getting their membership and they said, do you guys take the boxes away when you deliver stuff? And the guy was like, I think so. And then they paid for their membership, can't get a refund. And then they went to the other side where the shopping is and everything changes.
No, that would be if you emailed.
Oh, we just put the umbrella together. The deck is really looking nice. We have one more thing, but we think we're bringing it back.
We got a little too excited.
We got a 2-person swing. You go into Costco and you're like, yeah, you know what? I can eat 15 bags of almonds. No problem. What's the expiration date?
Yeah.
But we got a 2-person swing.
Yeah. A little patio swing. And
yeah.
You know what? Part of it is that it's just already assembled and it's sitting there and it's hot outside and you've already stood in line to get the goddamn membership. So by the time you walk over there and you see a swing, you go, well, I'm just going to sit for a second.
Right.
And then you're like, well, honestly, this is lovely. We should just buy this. Yep. And then you get home and realize you don't have anywhere to put it. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's just not really what we needed.
No, it was an impulse purchase.
Yeah. But we're going to see how much it costs. And I might pay for half of it and bring it up to the old Lake Aruni.
Oh, all right.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah, that could be nice out there. Okay. Hi, Chad and Kelsey. Longtime fan and follower of you two. My most recent chance to see you both was Chad's show at Acme in early March. It was a treat and a great surprise for Kelsey to come out and perform a few minutes at that show. That was really cool. Thanks. That was so much fun.
$500.
So listening to Chad over the last few weeks talk about his complicated relationship with Costco has hit home with me. The fact that they don't accept Amex is silly. You go there to stock up on a few things in bulk only to find out that the stuff you get used to stops getting carried. You try to only spend $100 and you end up quadrupling that because the place just sucks you in. All of that is pretty small compared to some experiences I have had trying to leave the parking lot of their EP Minnesota store before they installed stoplights. EP Minnesota, Eden Prairie.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife and I went there to return a vacuum, which sucked because it didn't suck, and got caught in an absolute hellish ordeal. It was a Tuesday, I believe, a couple weeks before Christmas. My wife went in to return the item, and I waited in the car. While I waited in the car, I started to notice lines of cars trying to leave, and they were barely moving. I went to Google Maps to see if there was a back alley escape route, but to no avail, so our only option was waiting. Though I also did a once over on the curb / landscaping surrounding the parking lot to see how my SUV would fare going off-road. I'm going to stop right here and say I am positive you're Gen X because you sound exactly like Chad. This is totally what you would be doing. These are the people that will survive during the zombie apocalypse.
You got to check.
You're figuring out all routes. Mm-hmm. This is also why you don't like to use GPS, because you like to know if you didn't have technology how you could get around. Yeah,
I want to get lost and then figure it out, because then you're seeing parts of the city that you've never seen, and I think it's nice.
That is really nice. It's the nicest when you do it by yourself and I'm not in the car, because I like to spend my life not trapped in the car.
I don't want to experience things. I want to go where I know what's going on. Millennials.
Yeah. Yes.
I can't speak for all millennials. I don't know many, because you haven't invited me to be friends with your friends, even though I did for you. But
it's because I moved here and I don't have any friends here.
Okay. Next one.
I just wanted to say it because I know it makes you mad.
It doesn't make me mad.
I have been very fortunate, actually, that especially last year, like all of my best friends came and visited me in pairs. It was like 2 of my best friends came, stayed for a few days. We went out in the city. Another 2 of my best friends came, went out. It was like amazing.
Yep.
And so Chad is, of course, just bitching as always with no truth behind it, because you have been invited to be around my friends all the time.
Wow. Okay.
And you know that's true. Okay, to see how my SUV would fare going off-road. By the time my wife returned to the car, I thought I was mentally prepared to embrace the experience we were about to have. 10 minutes into waiting to leave, I met my limit and I called the non-emergency number for the local police department. Someone answered and I said, I'm in my car at Costco and no one can leave the parking lot. Is there any way an officer or two can help come patrol traffic? The reply was, oh, we know. There have been several calls.
Whoa.
Costco refuses to pay for traffic patrol, so it's on them to manage it. 45 minutes later, we were out of there, and I think my wife is ready to leave me at home for all future Costco trips. Fast forward a couple years, and there are now stoplights leaving that Costco. Of all the people out there, I feel like Chad could relate to how this experience and my action was completely normal. Most people I know that I tell this story to think I'm crazy for doing what I did. Sincerely, the Red Bull cum guy. Must be a previous email. Vaguely remember that.
Hey, did you stop being friends with everyone that thought you were crazy? I'm doing the fucking 4 in, hold for 7, 8 out breathing technique right now.
I was like, what are you doing over there?
45 minutes? No.
Were you at a concert?
That's that's a concert when you leave before the last song. 45 minutes.
Yes.
You know what? I'm not into it. I would have been so pissed off.
Oh my God.
You know what I think I would have done?
Yeah.
I mean, this would have horrified you. But I do believe I would have gotten out and started doing traffic. I'd have been like, get in the driver's seat and I'm going to do traffic till we're out. But here's the thing. God. I would have made it fair. I would have been like 10 cars. Stop, 10 cars this way, stop, 10 cars this way. And as soon as you pulled up to me, I'd be like, peace out, fucking figure it out.
You know what's crazy? You're not exaggerating. You would.
I know
do that.
I would.
Oh my God.
You're gonna leave your time up to a bunch of dipshits? No way. Especially in fucking Eden Prairie, Minnesota, where at a 4-way stop nobody goes because they're like, go ahead. Go ahead. I just came from church and I don't want to wreck my sorry yet. Go ahead. Unbelievable.
All I have to do today is make a tater tot hot dish. I've got nowhere to be.
Yeah, so it's a lot of waving. And at Costco, before Christmas,
oh God,
I want to stay on the good list.
Yeah.
You go. I'd have been like, I'm not on a list, motherfuckers. There's no Santa Claus or Jesus. Oh, sorry. Just kidding. There could be. I don't want to get into that right now, but I would, there's no Santa Claus. And then I'd be like, all right, you guys go. It'd kind of be fun. I bet. I'd need a whistle. That's what I'm going to keep in my car.
No whistles.
I'm going to keep
no whistles.
Hey, not for inside the car.
Not for anywhere.
What if you have to direct traffic? You have to have a whistle. You must. You must. Otherwise, no one's paying attention. If you have a whistle, everybody's like, this guy could be off duty.
Oh my.
Who the fuck has a whistle?
Oh my God. That is the last. It's such a slippery slope with you. We can't let you get your hands on a whistle.
I've already, you know what?
God only knows where that stops.
I've already ordered it in my mind.
Don't. Please.
I've already ordered, and here we go. Pair of white gloves.
No.
They got to be able to see what I'm doing. White gloves, whistle. I might go down there tomorrow. I might go down there, cut the wires to the traffic lights, and just practice. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, but that might be on the list. Mow the lawn and learn how to traffic cop. Wow.
I learned how to traffic.
I learned.
What did you learn how to traffic? You better finish that sentence because there's a lot of sketchy shit you can traffic. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was right into the microphone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry,
you
listeners.
like went to the microphone
I know, I'm
to
so
cough.
sorry.
That was interesting.
I apologize to your ears. I'm sorry. Okay. Ironically, this next one is titled, "That Was Weird, Right?" Right after I make sheep noises. Okay. Dear Kelsey and Chad, I only recently discovered both of you, but really enjoy your comedy. Thank you. Kelsey, I saw your show at the Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio on June 7th, so just a few weeks ago.
Heck yeah.
And had the pleasure of meeting you at the merch table afterwards. I bought a couple of things and had a nice chat with you. Really, you couldn't have been nicer. I would have asked to take a picture with you, except that I'm not fond of having my picture taken due to my Shrek-like appearance. Sir. No.
I'm sorry to
Love
hear
yourself.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No.
I'm gonna hop in here and I'm gonna say been there, done that. I also don't like having my picture taken. But there's times where you just go, you know what you could do? You could practice at home, like what's your absolute best angle, best look? Practice your smile.
And by the way, you attached... Okay, so let me finish this email because there are pictures attached. Unfortunately, without my knowledge, my weirdo brother and our friend were just outside of my peripheral vision taking pictures of us both.
Oh, God, I love this already.
They didn't mention this during the hour ride home, and I didn't find out until they both texted me the pictures the following day.
Amazing.
I'm sure you noticed them based on your facial expression in one of the attached photos. I'm really sorry if they made you uncomfortable. I am currently geared up to die alone. Sir. So I don't have a relationship question, but does that kind of thing happen often? I hope not. Anyway, I can't stop obsessing about it now that I've apologized. Best wishes to you both, Chris. Chris. Okay, first of all, let me say.
Let me get a look.
I'm opening these pictures.
Let me get a peek.
You are not Shrek-like in any way.
Go back one, please.
I really would love if you...
Bro, what do you even do? What are you even saying?
Yeah. I just... Life is short, and that's like a really unnecessarily sad way to feel about yourself. You're just one self. You got the one you your whole life, and you got to learn to love you.
I have to say something.
Yeah.
That's not even close to an accurate description.
I know.
Yeah, I really thought when these pictures were shown that it was going to be
some sort of mutant.
Well, then, just like, yeah, that's not even close. You
No.
Yeah, you look great. You're put together. I don't understand that. So maybe you're seeing stuff. Have you ever been to a doctor and asked about body dysmorphia?
Yeah.
That might be a real thing here, because this isn't the die alone thing and everything. It's like
dude, so many women would be thrilled to meet you and get to know, like, this is not like, and by the way,
I'm not coming over the top here and saying, like, don't be a fucking idiot, Chris, because I know what it is like to not see yourself correctly. But I do hope maybe you talk to somebody about it, because I'm just telling you, like, you're off, and I'm not being nice. I'm not throwing around compliments for no reason. I'm saying, like, you are incorrect. And so, and like I said, you look well put together. You're like, hair's high and tight, good glasses on you.
Yeah.
You look great. So I don't know.
And so you
have a green shirt on, if that's what you mean by Shrek.
Yeah. I do vaguely remember, those people taking the picture from the side, but it was like, that didn't really bother me, just because I know, like, in the merch table, that is what is happening. We're, like, taking pictures. So it's either we would have both been looking at the camera, taking a picture, or they were just taking one of you buying the merch. That really didn't make me uncomfortable. So, but like, and my face is just, I'm just mid-word talking to you and looked over and saw them, but I'm not, I promise I wasn't uncomfortable. So please, you can stop obsessing about it. It was totally fine. We're going to record next week's episode tomorrow, and I have a merch line story for then, and I can share with you guys, like, why I stay. I mean, I've talked about it a little bit, but I always stay behind the merch table just for, like, safety reasons and stuff. But this is not the sort of thing that did not make me uncomfortable. You're totally fine.
I never stay behind the merch table. I like to mush my tits against other guys' tits. I like to go full hug, 2-arm hug, and mush boobs. I do.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a quick one. They say, willing to drive to Minnesota to buy Chad's old auto. He deserves the vehicle he wants. Max bid is approximately $8,000 under KBB value, but we'll throw in an incorrect Casey's pizza, pepperoncini on half, Canadian bacon on the other to sweeten the deal. Hit me up, bro. P.S. It is insane that Jim Marshall isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no kidding.
And this is from Matt.
For those of you who have been listening, I rented a Range Rover, or haven't been listening. I rented a Range Rover and I fell in love with it. But then now the research I've been doing, Range Rovers can, at least from the stories I've read, so I'm not shitting on them, but I'm saying, like, they're expensive upkeep because they're an expensive car. And I have learned to really love the car that I bought in the first place. I just got my shit together. It just took me a sec to shake the webs out a little bit.
Yeah. But thank you for that offer, Matt. Okay. Like I mentioned last episode, these next few emails are dedicated to the topic that was brought up maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now about, it was a man who wrote in about his wife. They've been together for a long time, and she had started to go through some changes in the past few years, hitting kind of like the menopause, perimenopause time, where she's like not feeling confident about her body, just like really changing in a lot of ways. And then it's making the relationship change, and he has felt a little bit like unsure of how to approach it and what to do. Mm-hmm. And we have gotten so many emails. I really, I mean, we say it all the time, love the community that we've built here. Like, that aspect of the podcast is so cool to see, that people go out of their way after hearing an email to write in and give their perspective from their own stuff.
Yeah.
And their advice. So I'm going to read a few of those, and
We have good fellowship here.
We do have good fellowship.
That's something I enjoy the most in the world is fellowship.
I like never hear that word because it sounds a little Mormon-y.
Well,
but
I think in church is where you find fellowship quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed it there.
Yeah.
But fellowship without the church stuff is probably my favorite thing on planet Earth. And so this just warms my heart.
It's really nice. It also makes me think of Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
For the fellowship with the
Ring.
Sure. I felt that way a lot growing up with my sports teams. Like your teammates when you're in high school, that's like, I love that feeling. I miss that. Okay. This is titled 17-Year Age Gap Pre-Menopause Partner. They say, hi, Kelsey and Chad. To start, because this involves information about other people in my life, please keep it anonymous. Okay. I heard your email from a listener who has a 17-year age gap and their partner has started perimenopause. Can I
just throw this out there? 17, you guys. Get it together. Okay.
And the struggles that have come with it. I, too, am in a relationship with an age gap, 12 years. We've been together for over 14 and married for almost 12, and my partner has recently, in the last year or so, begun a similar process. Not quite as extreme as your listeners, but that may be because my partner and I identified the change so quickly and sought help. I would strongly, in all caps, recommend that your listeners suggest talking about it with their OBGYN. Like you both mentioned, exercise can help a lot of things, but one of the biggest parts of menopause is the hormonal shift where some hormones reduce or stop production overall, and it can wreak havoc on people, causing the lethargy, mood swings, libido drop, all of it. My partner spoke with her doctor and was prescribed a testosterone supplement, and it has been night and day, in all caps.
Wow.
It's a small, slow-release pellet that gets inserted under the skin on their butt/hip area and lasts for several months. The procedure isn't super awesome. She ends up being sore for a couple of days after, but honestly, it's well worth it for her. She has her energy back, her mood is much better and more stable, and the libido is back to normal and maybe even a little higher. Hello.
Oh, get that shit, son!
It has been such a positive thing. Once she started the treatment, it took a little trial and error to find the right dosage for her and her body, but overall has been really incredible. It's super noticeable now, especially to her, when her pellet is starting to run out. She'll say, I'm feeling really tired the last couple of days. We both look at each other like deer in headlights. Oh, when is my next pellet appointment? Oh, next week, that's why. As another anecdotal story for the power of hormones and menopause, when I was a teenager, eons ago, my stepmom was going through menopause and was getting a hormonal pellet implant too, no idea what kind, and it was also super noticeable for her and everyone else when the pellet was wearing off. It honestly became a relief once she had that diagnosis and treatment because there was an answer for what was causing such drastic out-of-character changes and allowed her to own up to it more. She didn't feel like she had to dig her heels in to validate every emotion anymore. It was just, you know what? I bet my pellet is almost out. I'm sorry. Anyway, I thought I would share. It's totally normal. Lots of women go through it. There are options. Thank you for writing
That's
in.
really great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And by the way, I already have your pellets. I knew this already. They're stockpiled in my closet.
Because you've been going through perimenopause?
Yeah.
I am sure I'm going to be.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Okay, this is another one, the same topic. This is titled Response About a Listener Who Wrote In. They say, hi, Chad and Kelsey. Love you guys. Thanks for what you are putting out there. It's been a minute. I wanted to write in sooner, but I have to respond about the man who wrote in about his wife, who he absolutely adores, but she's struggling with lack of motivation and possible menopause. I was desperately yelling at you in my head with information that might help her. As someone who has not only dealt with depression on and off, more importantly, I learned last year at the age of 55 about menopause, and it very much changed my life. Everything this woman's husband was saying about her sounds exactly like symptoms of peri or postmenopause. Please, please, please have him and hopefully her listen to Mel Robbins' podcast with Dr. Mary Claire Haver. This could start her in the right direction for her to feel better. Dr. Haver has started a massive movement to educate women and doctors about menopause, and she's amazing.
Sorry, we don't promote other podcasts.
There's a lot of misconception out there about how to treat symptoms. I have to tell you, it made me cringe a bit to hear you all suggest they look at videos on TikTok, as so many people out there are not giving out credible or accurate information. Anyway, thanks for your time. I adore you both. Be well, Melissa. Melissa, thanks for writing in. Okay, yes, Some of that I understand. TikTok can be a little hit or miss. I will say, though, I have learned a lot on TikTok, and I think a lot of people also have. So I think you just have to look at things thoroughly. Like, don't buy supplements on TikTok from somebody you don't know or something like that. But just, I think there is credible information on there. But I would also recommend listening to that podcast. What do you think?
Well, we talked about me being Gen X earlier, and I think that, the stuff you should learn on TikTok are like dances and shit.
But I feel like you don't spend any time on TikTok.
I don't ever go on TikTok. I'm not good at dancing, so that hurts my feelings. And that was fucked up.
I was doing the thing where I was thinking about the next thing. Sorry, I'm not responding to that.
And I just, everyone has an opinion. Everyone, there is an account that always pops up on my Instagram that is back pain something. And it's all these things to do, but nobody fucking shows you where they learned it. They don't show you what school they went to. They don't show you anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, you figured this out? You sleep off the side of your bed? And that made your arthritis go away? That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of videos like that.
That's true. The thing I was thinking about when you're talking, was that what I'm imagining are like clips from podcasts like the Mel Robbins podcast, where that is the right information. That would be like a clip of what you're talking about. I think it's different when it's just a personal perspective that's not an expert. I think that's when you do have to go like, okay, this is just a person sharing their story, but maybe not a doctor. So,
Melissa, did you expect her to just lay down and say she's wrong? No. You are going to get the explanation of how she actually feels, and she said this and meant this. Booyah. It could be a clip of the podcast. I was on your side. That whole thing was on your side. Oh my God. Put your hand up for a high five. That whole thing was on your side.
Was it? I thought you were saying I'm stubborn.
You are. That's not a bad deal.
Oh, well, sometimes you don't like when I'm stubborn.
I didn't like when you're stubborn one time. Once. When you were like, well, I thought we were going to go back down to the fireplace 4 hours later. When the chimney's fucking scorching hot and you touch the wall upstairs and it burns your hand. I thought that's when we'd go down there. That's the craziest shit still to me. But this, I knew that you were not just going to go, yeah, you're right, TikTok is for idiots. You're going to be like, okay, while Chad's talking, I'm going to come up with my complete closing argument. Cross-examination.
My mom always did say I should be a lawyer.
Yeah, that's what parents say instead of saying bitch. It is. It's in the parent handbook. They go, do you want to call your daughter a bitch? Tell her she could be a great lawyer instead. Give her a goal with that shitty fucking attitude. Don't break her heart. Give her something to work for with that poor attitude. That's exactly what it says.
Yeah. Well, I have a strong desire for justice and for there to be order in the world. Which
you don't. A lady parked in front of Whole Foods in the crosswalk.
I didn't think that's bothering anybody.
It is bothering everybody. That's an injustice. You can't park in the fucking crosswalk. That's crazy. There are lines for people to walk. That's where the walking happens. You can't block that whole fucking thing. That's an injustice. And that's when I come in, the true person that loves justice in the world.
I know. I thought I love justice. You really love justice.
I've made it my life goal.
You make sweet love to justice.
Yes.
I
never patience.
Never patience.
Just justice.
I've told you about how when I was really, really young at like park playgrounds or mall playgrounds, I would go up to kids 5 years older than me, 5 times my height, and go, you can't crawl up the slide.
Yeah.
You have to go up the back. It's not fair. And they just looked at me like, who the fuck are you?
Well, I think the issue is like, you don't go in for justice like a vigilante. Mm-hmm. You go in like the fucking narc in the Funky Bunch. You go in, you're like pushing your glasses up. Excuse me, sir, the bylaws tell us that going up the slide's dangerous.
Is that marijuana? Well, I learned in the DARE program that that's not good for you, and you should put that out. That's
not how you do it. If you want justice, someone's crawling up a slide, you go to the top of the slide and you fucking jump. You hold onto the bar and you donkey kick your feet up and you swing them through like the Magnificent Seven. And you fucking, your ass doesn't even touch the slide. It is a straight fucking laser beam of a human being. And you hit that kid in the chest and he goes tumbling backwards. Mom, he hit me. And be like, yeah, I guess, but you were going up the slide, motherfucker. You can't go up the slide. That's justice. That's sweet, sweet justice. Oh, God. First time ever this is a boner pillow. Sweet justice.
Yeah, we both like justice. We just go about it in different ways. Mm-hmm. But yeah, between really wanting justice and I'm also an Aries, which is a Ram. So it's like I'm very hard-headed, very stubborn. Mm-hmm. So I do think I would have been a good lawyer.
Probably. Yeah.
I would fight tooth and nail for causes I believe in a courtroom. But another life. Became a clown instead. It's too late.
I'm going to use my arguing for drunk people.
Yeah. With no purpose. Okay. Yes. Thank you for writing in. Excuse me. Gosh darn it.
What do we got?
We have one more.
Okay, let's go. Hurry.
Okay. This is titled...
You're an Aries, I'm a Hurries.
This is titled For the Perimenopausal Couple.
I deserve that.
Yeah. Okay, this is something I've been thinking about nearly every day as I myself have entered premenopause early. Women's bodies have to go through so much, but as you reach age 35 on, your hormones are doing something so completely different than they have for any other part of your life. I'm 36.
Aww. Are you?
Yeah. Hormone replacement therapy is everything. I feel like that's always been such a scary topic as we are typically told that it's such a dramatic swing the other way, and it can be iffy in introducing that. It's been a complete game changer for me. As you approach your cycle, your estrogen is plummeting and you're already at an age where you're making so much less of it. It's the exact same with progesterone. I found a great OB and started bioidentical hormones, which means these are what's already in your body, but we need to supplement what's been lost. I had really severe insomnia, and the week that I started progesterone changed my life. We don't actually have to just live with these symptoms as women. That's such a load of shit. We can be 40, 45 and still feel fucking incredible, but you have to get your hormones in control or that will never happen. I've started listening to this podcast, Perimenopause Simplifies, and it's been a lifesaver. We got lots of podcast recommendations.
Yeah. Excuse me.
After a few months of progesterone, I started on an estrogen patch as well. And oh my God, this has been the source of my energy. All of that said, please just feel free to forward this on to the person who wrote in. This is huge. They both deserve to be living their best lives at this age. But she needs to do something. I feel like if he listened to that podcast with her, it would be huge because they break down what is going on in your body precisely. And all of a sudden it starts to make sense. It's the best place to start. Women have to fully understand this chemical change and how it affects literally every aspect of your life, including all of your relationships. And it does not have to. Love you guys. XO Rachel. Rachel, thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That is a lot of good suggestions here.
Yes. And I know you wrote in right after that too with a little allergy blurb for me. And thank you. You did push me to send a message to my functional doctor. And I have some allergy medicine coming in the mail. That's a more like natural type. So we'll see.
Yeah. And there may be people listening that go, well, yeah, what a luxury to be able to go to an OB and have this stuff done.
Right.
But there's going to be some people that can't afford it.
Right.
And in that case, I would say look up who your congressman is or congressperson and write them, because nobody has the females back like our government. So definitely look to write someone in the government.
Yeah.
And tell them that you're a woman. I would maybe end with it so they read the letter. But anyways, I am obviously joking about this, but I know it's serious. And
it's a great time to be a woman in America.
I do hope that that you guys can get it figured out, because I can't even imagine. I mean, the fact that, and I know this is how it works, because it's not fair, right? It's not, it's to create human life. You want to move over to the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to wrap this episode up, but we are going to do our 30-minute bonus Patreon now. So head over to Patreon if you want more episode, patreon.com/pretendproblems. We'll see you over there.
Boom.
Okay, bye.